Common point of views for telling your story. In this post, we discuss common point of view options when you narrate your story scenes and the time or the tense of your storytelling. When writing a story, most of the focus isn't on your characters' past or future. Fiction thrives on what's happening in the now. To show a character acting in the present, you use a point of view or POV, a lens through which you reveal the character's world and a story to the reader. The point of view you choose shapes the reader's experience and connection to the story. Your choice of POV is closely tied to the narrator. Narrator is the person or entity telling the story. In many POVs, the narrator is essentially an unnamed voice, often aligning with the author's perspective. However, in some POVs like first person, the narrator may be a character within the story. Understanding the strengths and limitations of each point of view will help you choose the one that best fits your narration. This post explores common point of view options and offers insight into how they can affect your storytelling. The first point of view is first person POV. First person point of view immerses the reader directly into the mind and world of the narrator. In this perspective, the narrator is a character in the story, often the protagonist, that uses I or we to tell their tale. This creates an intimate and personal connection between the reader and the narrator, as they experience events, thoughts, and emotions from a direct internal point of view. Advantages: intimacy. It's easier for the reader to deeply empathize with the narrator's experiences and emotions. Subjectivity. The story is filtered through the narrator's perspective, making it naturally biased, which can add layers of complexity and authenticity. Disadvantages: limited scope. The narrator can only recount what they see, hear, or experience. This can limit your ability to show events happening in parallel or in other locations or give a broader view of the world. The other disadvantage is unreliable narrator. First person narrators can be unreliable, intentionally or unintentionally, which can be both a strength and a potential drawback depending on your story's needs. Some tips for first person POV. If you want to broaden the perspective, consider using multiple first person narrators, each narrating different sections or chapters of the story. However, it's essential to distinguish between these narrators clearly to avoid confusing the reader. The other option of point of view is a third person limited point of view. Third person limited is the most common point of view in modern fiction. Here, the narrator is not a character in the story, but an external observer who follows a specific character closely. The narrator refers to the character as he or she or they, and the reader gains insight into character's thoughts, feelings, emotions, and perspective, and what the character sees, what character experiences. Advantages: its flexibility. Even though you focus on one character at a time, you still have the ability, you have the freedom to switch between different characters in different scenes or chapters. Depth. Although you are not using first person, you can still dive deeply into the POV characters' thoughts and emotions. That allows readers to connect emotionally without feeling limited to the eye perspective. Disadvantages: distance. There is a slight distance between the reader and the character compared to first person, as readers are still being told about the character's experiences rather than feeling them directly from the character. Some tips for third person limited point of view. Stay consistent with the viewpoint character in each scene. Jumping between multiple characters' thoughts within the same scene can confuse the reader. And this is another type of point of view, and it is called head hopping. Another option for point of view is objective third person point of view. In the objective third person POV, the narrator only reports what can be observed externally. They don't go into characters' thoughts or emotions. And instead, they act as an impartial camera, capturing what's happening on the surface, dialogues, actions, and physical reactions. Advantages: it has a cinematic feel. The objective approach makes your story visual and action-oriented, resembling a film script. It emphasizes showing rather than telling, focusing readers to interpret characters' emotions and motivations from their behavior, expressions, and dialogue. Disadvantages: it also has emotional distance. Without direct access to thoughts and feelings, it's harder for the reader to form a deep connection with the character. Emotion must be conveyed through subtext, body language, and dialogue, which requires skillful writing. Some tips for objective third person point of view. This point of view works well for stories with a strong focus on action or mystery, where in these genres, maintaining an air of objectivity helps keep readers guessing about characters' motivations. The next option for point of view is head hopping POV. Head hopping occurs when the narrator switches between the internal thoughts and emotions of different characters within the same scene. This is often seen as a subcategory of third-person point of view, but it's widely discouraged unless handled with extreme care and skill. Advantages: it has the characteristics of omniscience. The reader knows exactly what all the characters are thinking and feeling in real time, which can be useful in scenes where understanding multiple perspectives is critical. Disadvantages: loss of focus. Rapidly switching between characters' thoughts can dilute the reader's emotional investment in any single character. It can also make scenes feel chaotic and disorganized. If you must use this technique, clearly signal the transition between characters' thoughts and limit the frequency of shifts to maintain coherence. The other option for point of view is omniscient point of view. In omniscient point of view, the narrator knows everything about every character and events broadly events that even does not link with any character. and shares whatever information is necessary with the reader. This was a popular choice in older literature, but has fallen out of favor in modern storytelling due to its tendency to tell rather than show. Advantages: full knowledge. The narrator can reveal background information, provide commentary, or explain motivation without being confined to a single character's viewpoint. This allows for greater narrative complexity. Disadvantages: lack of mystery. The omniscient narrator can rob the story of tension by revealing too much. Readers often enjoy piecing things together on their own. An omniscient point of view can eliminate that pleasure. Distance. Like head hopping, omniscient point of view can distance the reader from the characters and makes it harder to form emotional connections. Some tips for omniscient point of view. Use it with care and use sparingly, and avoid overloading the reader with too much information. Allow room for readers to infer and interpret. Another topic that is related to the selecting point of view for telling your story is choosing between past and present tense. Closely tied to point of view is the choice of tense, whether the story is told in the past or present tense. Each tense offers distinct advantages, and the choice can affect the pacing and immediacy of the story. Past tense. The most commonly used tense in fiction is past tense. It offers a sense of familiarity and allows the narrator to reflect on events with some distance. Past tense is versatile and suits a wide range of genres and stories. Present tense. Present tense creates a sense of immediacy and urgency, making readers feel as if events are unfolding in real time. It is less common, but it's often used in genres like thrillers or young adult fiction to create heightened suspense. Choosing a tense is largely a stylistic decision. If your story benefits from a sense of reflection or a hindsight, past tense may be the better choice. If you want to create a more immediate visceral experience, present tense might suit your needs. In conclusion, choosing the right point of view for your story is more than a technical decision. It shapes the reader's experience of the novel. Whether you opt for the deep intimacy of first person, the flexibility of third person limited, or the all-knowing omniscient point of view, each choice brings unique advantages and challenges. Consider what best serves your story and characters. And don't be afraid to experiment until you find the perfect lens through which you tell your tale.